How did the Fredericksburg disaster affect Abraham Lincoln? Imagine being the leader of a nation watching a battle unfold that ends in a heavy defeat. That was the situation for Abraham Lincoln after the Fredericksburg campaign. The battle, fought in December 1862, was a major setback for the Union during the American Civil War. Over 12,000 Union soldiers were killed or wounded in a frontal assault against well-fortified Confederate positions. The Confederates, led by General Robert Lee, suffered fewer than 6,000 casualties. This lopsided loss hit Northern morale hard and drew sharp criticism of Lincoln's leadership. Before Fredericksburg, Lincoln was already frustrated with his generals, especially Major General George McClellan. He had replaced McClellan with Major General Ambrose Burnside just before the battle. Lincoln chose Burnside because he trusted him to be loyal and politically neutral. But Burnside had little experience leading large armies in battle. Lincoln pushed Burnside to quickly attack the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, hoping to capture Richmond, the Confederate capital. Burnside's plan was to cross the Rappahannock River at Fredericksburg and strike quickly. But delays in crossing allowed Lee's forces to dig into strong defensive positions on the heights above the city. When Union troops launched their assaults, they faced deadly Confederate fire from well-prepared trenches and artillery. The Union suffered heavy losses in these repeated frontal attacks. The defeat was clear and humiliating. Lincoln was deeply troubled by what happened. He didn't publicly blame Burnside harshly but called the defeat an accident. He believed that the North's larger resources would eventually wear down the South despite setbacks. Still, the political fallout was severe. Many in the North blamed Lincoln for the failed campaign and called for changes in leadership. Lincoln resisted some of these pressures but eventually replaced Burnside after another unsuccessful campaign. The Fredericksburg disaster made Lincoln more aware of how difficult it was to find effective military leaders. It showed him the importance of having generals who could plan and execute better strategies. It also highlighted the high human cost of the war. This experience pushed Lincoln to seek out new commanders, eventually leading to Ulysses S. Grant's appointment. In the end, the defeat at Fredericksburg affected Lincoln by increasing his frustration with military leadership and raising political pressure. It made him more determined to find capable generals and to keep pushing the Union's effort forward. Despite the loss, Lincoln stayed committed to winning the war and believed that the North's advantages would lead to victory in the end.